Good evening and welcome to our live crafting this evening. It is Thursday the 12th of October 2023 and a good evening to you. My name's Jenny McCormack and I am independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the market town of Brackley, which is here in the UK. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. If you're watching live, do say hi. It's always lovely to know who's joined us, and if you have any questions as we go along, then don't hesitate to pop those in the comment section. And if you're watching on replay, and that could be here on Facebook or it could be on YouTube, then if you have any queries or comments, again, feel free to pop those in the comment section and I will get back to you with an answer if it requires. So thank you so much. I'm just trying to find me on my phone. It is there, but it wasn't doing what it should do, but it's there now. Excellent. Hi Teresa, thank you for joining us. I can see that you've joined us. So we have this fabulous bundle called Heartfelt Hexagon. It's been my stamp set of the week, and this is the stamp set, and it has the coordinating hexagon punch. It's a nice sort of rounded hexagon as opposed to a harsh one. It's not an evenly sized one, but it's perfect for nice sentiments. So you've got 6 sentiments that will fit within this area here, either in landscape or in portrait, which is this one here. And then you've got some assorted additional items and 2 frames here, one on either side. So the cards that we made at Coffee and Card are here, and it's a good sign because I've got loads of them, which means they were really easy to create. So I'll just run through these and then we'll get cracking with something different. Hi Carol, and Teresa, just to let you know that your post arrived. Thank you very much. So we have this one here. So all we've done is punched out the floral papers, stamped and punched out the sentiment and layered those together. This is note card size, and remember, hi Cindy, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you taking the time to comment as well, thank you. So this is our stamp set of the week, so you'll get the note cards, you'll get some of the patterned papers as well. And then I've done this one as a retirement, and this actually uses the Gone Fishing papers. And that's, I've used the edges of the offcuts on the inside. So you can see how easy these are to recreate. Great way of using up odd strips or odd pieces of papers as well. Oh, bless you, Cindy. Well done. Hi, Catherine. Thanks for joining us. And they've got this one. This one I haven't actually popped onto a card, but this is to show that you can put it any way round. So that's in the sort of vertical position. And then this one I've done with the other side of the Gone Fishing papers. So on one side of the papers you've got these lovely greys, so typically most of them are Pebbled Path and Vanilla, and then you've got these lovely sets of blues and vanilla on the other side. Those are in the annual catalogue. And then I've done this one here with those countryside in papers. Now if you watched my live on Monday, I think this was one of the ones that I did, and I did say that our team challenge currently is to a one sheet wonder. So I decided to do that with the fishing set. So I'll just quickly show you that. Hi Brenda. So let's get it the right way around. So this is my stamped one sheet wonder. I'll just lift it up so you can see. So this is going to be cut up into individual cards. It doesn't have to be cut. Typically I cut it into quarters, but you can cut it into squares and get 6 cards out of it. You could cut it in diagonals, all sorts of variations, but I wanted to show you that I did go on to do the One Sheet Wonder using the Gone Fishing stamp set. I added some extra elements in as well from other stamps, and I stamped it on boho blue so that I wasn't dealing with a piece of white card underneath. It's a lot easier. Hi Claire, hope you're feeling better, and hi to you Sandra, thanks for joining us. Okay, so this is what we're going to make this evening, this cute cracker. If I just lift it up. So this is created using this same hexagon punch. So I want to show you how you can use it to create longer pieces, whether it's just for a banner that you wanted, but also to make the cracker formation. Now I've got this idea from the recent World Card Making Day designs, and you can log on and watch those free of charge. It was an event last Saturday, but you can hop on and look at them free of charge. Just go to the Stampin' Up website, stampinup.uk, or ask me and I'll send you a link. So this uses the I'm trying to think which one it is, Joyful Christmas Papers or Joy of Noel, one or the other. We have two with very similar names. So I don't know whether to do the same, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one and put it onto a DL size card. Now this is effectively 21 centimeters by 10. It's about a third of an A4 piece of card, and I'm not quite sure. I've got cherry cobbler and I've got white, but I realised that if I do a red one on here and then add some pattern paper behind, it might be a little bit much. So what I might do is do it to fit. Now when I created this, I didn't do any measuring of the size. I just wanted to play around to see whether it would fit, which it does. So whether I end up with the same size, I don't know. I will measure it as we go along, but it is very simple to recreate. Now I've got some different papers, so I have these papers here. Let me just bring these in. But we've got so many Christmas papers to choose from. You could choose any really, and if you've got existing ones, obviously use those. So this is a new set of papers that has been added. They are called Shining Christmas. One side is foiled, as you can see here, hopefully. Sorry about the reflection though. And then this one, the other side is matte. So we've got various designs. We have this one with the stripes. This one would also work quite nicely with the crackers, wouldn't it? So I haven't decided which of the papers I'm going to use. I will do that once I've done the cutting out of the card. And we've also got those lovely Christmas trees. Let me bring that up to the screen. There you go. How cute are they? So, and you've got the candy canes. I'm trying to think what they were called then. Oh, and you've also got presents. Again, apologies for the light. So I really don't know which of those to use, to be honest. Or I could just use some more of this lovely Joy of Christmas paper. I do quite like that too. Okay, let's get cracking, as they say. Okay, so that's going to be the size of my finished card. So I just need to make sure that when I'm creating, I do this accordingly. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a piece of card, and we need to be able to slot this card into the punch through this aperture here, because obviously when you put a piece of card in here, when you punch it out, it's cutting all the way around. So what we need to be able to do is cut this edge and bypass the rest of the punch. Okay, so what I'm going to do is first of all cut this piece. So this is an A4 piece. It happens to be cut the long way, not that it really matters. And I'm going to cut this at 5.5 centimeters. Not to be confused with that piece there. And the reason I cut it 5.5 centimeters is that means I can slot it into the punch from the top. And if you look at that design, that's going to get you a piece that cuts in that direction. Okay, so for our centerpiece, we want a piece that's going to do that on both sides. So what I'm going to do is start at one end. So I'm going to put this in centrally. I've made it slightly smaller to make it easier to slot in to the punch. And I'm going to punch just the top piece off. Okay, so what that gives me is this piece here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm not going to measure it for size, other than I know that this is roughly going to fit my card, but you can change the size of this, absolutely. But all you want to know is where to do the cut the other side. So if I want to, I'm going to have it slightly smaller maybe than this one. So I'm just going to bring my ruler in a little bit. And what I'm going to do is just draw a line here. And this is going to be this edge. Okay, so it's going to replicate that. Now, you can leave the line on there, because what you can do once you've cut it is that you can turn it over. So, I'm just going to cut this piece off here. So I just need to think I want this shape. So I'm looking at my punch. This is the shape that I want on this end. Okay, so before I put it in and do any punching, I want to think in my mind, I want this shape, not the other one. So all I can do now is slide this into the punch. Okay, and I don't know if you can see that line. All I'm doing is lining up my pencil line, oops, with these edges, roughly, like so. I don't know if you can see that or not. Oh, it's reflecting, isn't it? Sorry. Can you see that pencil line? Hopefully you can. Just going to move it over so it's a little bit more central, like so. Okay. So now I've got this piece for the middle, slightly smaller than that one. Okay, so the width is 5.5, and if anybody needs to know that measurement, I'll measure it on my trimmer in a second. Now I'm going to cut the pieces at either end. Now they're a bit easier, but again I want them to be the same size. But this time I want the shape to go that way. So all I need to do is just put this in. For example, like that. That's going to be one end, and I'll just use the other side for speed. There, it's as simple as that. Now I'm going to show you how to do the same with the paper. It's very similar, and all we're going to do is cut the paper down, okay, and measure that accordingly, so you can see how that is going to work. So what paper are we going to use? this is the most difficult decision, isn't it, really? I do rather like this holly. So I'm going to go with the holly. Why not? So this one I'm going to cut at 5 centimetres because I want it to be narrower so that I've got the border. You could do the whole thing just in paper if you wanted to, but I like the definition of having it a little bit larger with a border, I should say. So this is 5 centimetres, and I can just check that it's going to fit in there nicely, which it does. Hi Heather, thanks for joining us. So I'm going to do the same thing with my punch. So I'm going to pop this in. So the first thing I want is one that ends like that. So I'm just going to pop it in here, centralise it because obviously I've got a little bit smaller now, and then just punch top like so. Okay, and then I can do the same thing. So I'm going to do it on the reverse. I'm going to turn this over. Alright, and then I know this is where my edge needs to come to. Okay, so I can draw a line. Lost my ruler. And I want this to be just a little bit underneath that border. So I'm going to draw a line there. Okay, and then I can trim this top little piece off. Just make sure give yourself a little bit of space because obviously you've got the point here. And then exactly the same thing, I'm going to slide this into the punch from the top and then position that line that I've just pencil drawn. Hopefully you can see that if I lift it right the way up. Hopefully you can see that. It runs across here. Punch that. And then if I turn this over, that should fit with a nice border. Now, if I was doing a whole load of these, then what I would actually do is measure this and then cut the card to start with, and then you know. You could even score, no I wouldn't want to score it, but you could draw a pencil line down a whole piece of card knowing that's where you need to do the punching. So I've got that one there, and I'm going to do the same with this piece here. So this is 5.5, this is 5. You can go smaller, you can't go larger obviously because it's not going to fit in this aperture here. And this one's nice and easy for the same reason, is because we only need it to go on the inside. So there's that one, and I might just trim that down like so, and then save that little bit there and do the same thing. Like that. Okay. Now what I could have done is measured that whole distance, okay, and then cut the paper to start with, but what I'm going to do is just put those two together like so, and I can either measure this exactly or I can just pencil line. If you know me, I don't need to be spot on accurate. Now if you do, that's absolutely fine. Feel free to go ahead, but I'm quite happy just sort of marking and doing. But if you were doing a whole load and you wanted them all to be the same, then I would definitely recommend just measuring it and then cutting your pieces first. Okay. Hopefully, I've just done that. cut it to the right size. There we go. So I've got a little bit of a border on either side, like so. Now these can overlap where they join, or you can have them just touching. Because I'm going to put a ribbon on either side, it really doesn't matter. If I turn this one over, they're just overlapping. You can see my line here that I used. Well, you probably can't. Okay. Now I'm hoping this is going to fit on my card. It's pretty close. So what I might do is overlap these a bit more so it comes a bit smaller. The other thing you can do, if you've got a decorative border punch, is you could cut that on the right hand side, or if you've got one of our decorative dies, for example, or the scallop dies, you could turn that into a scallop. I think there's enough going on as it is, to be honest. Oh yes it is, isn't it? Thank you. Fingers crossed. I think it's Facebook that's causing the problem. Fingers crossed we'll get there. So I'll try and speed up. Thank you, Catherine, though. The main thing is done. Let us grab the other side of that paper, because I rather like those. I was thinking of those dots, but I'm wondering if this is now going to stand out. It will if I put it on. Dimensionals. I'm just thinking whether to do that with a white layer and that on top. White's too harsh. Okay, let's see what I've got that's got white background. That might work. That would work. Okay. The other side of that is those lovely trees. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this for our backing, and then I'm going to stamp a sentiment to put in the centre here. Oh, it is going gently on my side here. I don't know what's causing that. Right, I'm going to cut it this way. So the height of my card is 10. I'm going to cut this at 9.5. By 20. 20.5 even, maybe. Okay, I know it seems a shame to lose those lovely trees. So that's going to go onto there, and then this is going to be my cracker, like so. So let's put this together quickly, and then I'll add a sentiment for the front. I'm just going to pop this on here. Of course, I could have just stamped the background with a Happy Christmas message. That would have done. Okay, let's put this together. So what I'm going to do is put these elements on. So, oops. Right, so that's on the back of that. And I'm not worrying about the exact placement. As long as that's fairly central, I'm happy with that. So, and then this one. So a good thing about marking it on the back in pencil is you don't even need to rub it out. Like so. And then I'm going to attach these together. So I'm just going to put some glue here and here. So I know you can't see it particularly well, I've got a little bit on that tip, that's on there, and then I'm going to overlap these. Mainly just so it's going to fit on my card. Like so. It is kind of jerky, isn't it? I don't understand. I wonder if I'd move my phone out of the way. If that makes any difference. The signal's in the way or something. Who knows? Right, stuck those on there. And I think what I'm going to do is lift that up on dimensionals. And I've got lots of odd edges here that I'm going to use. There's one. Two. So, not particularly pretty on the back, but it doesn't need to be. That's one sheet finished. I've got some odd ones here. So I hope everybody's had a good day. Week has whizzed by yet again, but I've got our customer craft day at the weekend, so I'm looking forward to that. That one's not playing the game. Let's put a couple of these on here. And just as a reminder, we have some new products available, like these foiled papers. You can find those in the online exclusives, and then we have some more being released to customers in November, so watch out for those. There's something very cute coming. Okay. Okay, there we are. Right, so this is going to go onto here. I think I can have it central, but you could have it slightly higher and do your sentiment underneath. I'm going to have that there, put my ribbons on the top, and then find a sentiment for the centre. Let's see, so I've got More Wishes, which has got a Merry and a Christmas. Merry Christmas. Let's see if that fits on there, because I could cut it out. Let's have a look. Although it does seem a bit of a shame to cover that up, doesn't it? So there's Merry and there's Happy as well. Merry. It's just a little bit too big. I don't want to cover it all up completely. Okay. Plan B. Want to use something fairly bold. So that's not doing it for me. I know exactly what I want. But the question is, can I find it? Okay. Alright, this has got a Merry Christmas. So I will just use that one. So that is in place. Let's put some ribbon on there. So this is real red ribbon. It's not quite the same as the cherry cobbler I've used, but I think it will do the job. So I'll just do a quick tie. Now you could tie the ribbon round there, of course. But I think you can just get away with putting it on the top, really. Just wondering if I need to go green. Oh, it's flickering again. Okay. Solar eclipse. Solar flares. Got it. Ooh. Just going to try this one. I thought I had some green just to hand, but I haven't. I've got this lovely check, but I think this is too small. So sorry if it's flickering. It really is flickering, isn't it? I've got nobody else in the house to blame either. Yeah, that's two. I'll stick with these. If I find my garden green ribbon, I'll swap it over. Okay, let's just cut this down. There we go. I suppose you could have it either way, really, whichever way you wanted. There we go. I wonder if it's my watch. Because that's Bluetooth. It'd be nice if I could identify. Oh no, Bluetooth is not even on. It's nice if I could identify what it is that's causing it, though, so I know how to stop it. Okay. So I will measure the cracker pieces if you want to know what the finished measurements are and what the individual measurements are. I will do that. There we go. And then let's just stamp, just use this Merry Christmas from here. I really wanted, I know exactly which one I wanted. It's the big sentiment of Christmas sentiments. There we are. These ones. Wishing you a very Merry Christmas is what I wanted. That's what I really wanted. Yes, there we go. Patience, Jenny. Okay, let's stamp that in cherry cobbler onto a piece of white. I think this piece will do. Okay, just make sure that's well inked up. This is just a scrap, so I'm hoping it's tidy. Not very straight. I can straighten that up hopefully on here. Let's move that one out of the way. That's those. Right. So I said you could use a border punch and do a pretty border on these edges here if you wanted to, but I think this will do the job for us. Now I know those aren't affixed. I'm going to pop that on with dimensionals. There we go. I only seem to have small ones to have, the others are all packed, ready for coffee and card tomorrow with a new stamp set of the week. It's Christmas designs this week and next week I should say. I start on a Friday, so Friday, Monday and Tuesday sessions. I could put this on another layer, but I don't want to cover up too much of that lovely holly, and I know those aren't fixed. I'm going to see if I can find my garden green ones. So there we go. That's our very wonky finished design. Hopefully you can see that okay. Let's put the lid on my glue and just give you those measurements. So the width of the cracker is 5.5 centimeters, and then the overall length of the finished cracker is approximately 19 centimeters, and the central part here is about 14 before the edges have been cut down. But I will do some accurate measuring with my ruler and pop those in the description. I'm going to see if I've got my garden green ribbon, but it does work with the red, that's for sure. And as I say, apologies for the flickering. I hope you managed to see everything right the way through. It's just coming up to 20 to 8, so reasonable timing. So thank you so much for joining me, and especially if you've stood the course. I'll get this photographed and popped onto the Facebook page, and obviously this video will go onto YouTube. This is one that I created earlier, so this one is slightly bigger because I hadn't got as far as popping it onto a card. So this is about the same width as a card, just very slightly smaller, but it still works. So there we go. So apologise to you for the joddering video, and I look forward to crafting with you again soon. So a busy weekend for me with our customer craft day on Sunday, but I will be back here on Monday morning, and I'll see some of you lovely people at Coffee and Cards tomorrow. And obviously with my card here, I can pop a sentiment on the inside. I could actually put my Christmas wishes on the inside of there, so I'll do that and finish it off with the ribbons. I'll check out the garden greens, see which looks nicer, but there we go. So a cracker created from the hexagonal punch. And remember, if you buy the stamp set from me in the week that it's the stamp set of the week, you'll get all the components. So you'll get the components for this card as well. You'll get the papers, the ribbon, and the envelope to match as well. So thank you so much, everyone. Sorry to whittle on right at the end. I hope you've enjoyed it. Oh, hi Fran. Sorry I didn't see you'd popped on. Lovely to have you join me. Thank you everybody, much appreciated. Take care, have a great evening, and I'll catch up with you all real soon. Bye for now.